Hello, and welcome back to another video of mine. This is going to be a continuation of the last video, where I went through my preparation process to actually start planning my next year. In the last video that I uploaded, I, mentally prepared for everything that I'm going to do today and also set up a very long list of to-dos. So the way I work with my lists is that I took everything from the big list where I was like, okay, yeah, that's the stuff I would like to do basically this year / in the next upcoming months, because I don't really subscribe to the plan the entire year beforehand. I don't even know what I'm going to do in 6 months. What am I supposed to know what I'm going to do in December? At least not to a degree where I know the to-dos I want to do in December. My main goals of the year are to travel more, to finish my website, which then helps me to get jobs, get better in the business and networking side of things, and I also want to start sketchbooking again way more. But not only using my sketchbook for sketches, but also to write stuff, like properly, I guess, have a diary. How exactly that's gonna look like, I will find out on the go, but that's a goal I set for myself. Up here, that's just a lot of very quick things, like watch Yowamushi pedal while working out, or just clean my hiking boots, stuff like that. Down here, this is basically all the months I had. Apparently I started doing this in January, that's interesting. And up here are the various categories. The personal things I'm not gonna go over because, well, they're personal. The business notes are things like I want to look at various business models that I could use as inspiration for how I want my freelance career to go. The Illustrator organization, basically it's like a union for freelance artists, I guess. That's a very simplified version, but like there's various things I want to do. I'm part of the IO already, but they offer like help with various things, and I want to use that, for example, with my taxes and stuff. Then I also want to create a LinkedIn profile, which hopefully isn't going to take too long, but it's still something I'll have to find the time for. Something that's arguably more important right now, at least, is my portfolio website with all the various things. And I'm going to be so honest, I am intimidated by this already. On my longer list, there's way more stuff, but this alone is already... I don't know, I'm a bit scared if I'm being honest. Then there's freelance stuff I want to get done after I finish my portfolio website. Like I want to try out Infinity, because I've heard that it's free now. Gotta research that a bit more. I also want to create an account on VGen, which a friend of mine recommended me. Here we have general art skills, like I want to try out some brushes and follow some tutorials. Also here's the visual diary thing. Then I want to get better with my online presence, which I still want to do 2 YouTube videos a month, basically. So 1 every 2 weeks. But I also have other goals. I want to maybe try YouTube Shorts, because I have started to enjoy short form content from other people, so I might try that, like just basically little scenes. Or maybe I'm also thinking about doing media recommendations in short form content, because I don't know if I want to do a whole video. That would take a lot of work, and I don't want to overwork myself with something where I'm not even sure if people would be interested. But mainly I just want to try it out. And then, yeah, health and life stuff is just personal stuff, like doctor's appointments and like goals. I think on there I do want to work out more, for example, because my back hurts and my neck hurts and my everything hurts. Like that kind of stuff is in there. But yeah, let's just go through January real quick. So this is basically what a general month for me looks like. And the online presence is getting videos done. Here you see I have the first video. This is the one I'm working on right now. I got that. I'm technically doing that right now, so I can cross that off already. I did that this morning in bed, watched some, plan with me videos. Like for inspiration, I can cross the keep planning the video, because like I'm just doing it. Okay, then for the portfolio for this month, I also told myself that I would sit down and check what I've done so far, because there have been so many things happening over the last roughly 2 months that I want to sit down and see how far I've gotten and what I still have to do. And also, when you like work on a project and then you just have to pause because things happen and then you want to start again, but you're very intimidated by it. Yeah, that's currently going on in my brain. Then here I have the VTuber stream overlay that I want to do for the VTuber design, where I have 3 YouTube videos that I picked out for reference and inspiration. Maybe research Pinterest, but I feel like I already have a pretty good idea, so it's more like double check, I guess, how happy I am with my brainstorming ideas. Then I'm gonna, well, actually this should go here. First I'm gonna research, and while researching I'm gonna brainstorm. Then afterwards I'm gonna look at references to, like, I don't know, get it to a higher level or something, and then I'm gonna finish the VTuber stream overlay. So that's kind of my classic go-to. Like, I have the big project, which is the portfolio website, and then for the portfolio website it's the VTuber design. For that I have the stream overlay project, and then I divide that into very tiny tasks, basically step by step, so I feel less intimidated by, oh, get the stream overlay ready. Okay, so that should be enough of an explanation to understand, hopefully. Usually I plan 3 months ahead. It's almost the end of January. Usually I do it in the last week of the month, but now I want to do it a little bit more early. So January, we're just going to treat it like it's done already, and then I'm going to take care of February, March, and April. There's some things I already wrote down here, and I need to check my phone real quick. In July, hello, excusez-moi, there we go. I got asked to do a workshop in a youth center again. Youth center workshop on the 28th of July. So for that I have, that makes more sense as a toggle. I have to go over PDF again. Oops, because it's a workshop I have given in that specific youth center 2 times already. And they asked me to come back for 2 or maybe even 3 more dates this year. The first one is in July, the other one is in October. So I'm going to copy paste this in a bit. So I have to go over the PDF again, maybe edit some stuff. I might actually, like, thinking about the PDF, illustration. Because the artworks that I created myself that are in the PDF are, oh my god, they are 2 or 3 years old by now. I still like them. They still illustrate my points very well, but I might want to put new ones in there, especially because, you know, like the first time, obviously the PDF was new for everyone, but afterwards there were a lot of children who have been in the last workshop. So while the PDF is more like a little support on like explaining how it works, I do want to give new input, maybe. But I do have to double check everything. So it's another thing I would need to do. I need to send the quote. No, not the quote. Kostenvoranschlag. I do not know what that is in English, but basically I just sent them that's a quote. Yeah, the quote. I sent them the quote. Yeah, oh my god. But KBA is the German one and it's shorter. So my notes in general are like English and German at the same time. My brain really works bilingually, and just usually I go with what's shorter. So okay, and now that I did, hold up, I can just copy paste this and put it into October, because that will be, I think, the 27th of October. So I'm going to do the same thing again. That's probably not going to take too long. And then the business stuff. Oh, actually it's freelance in brown. Okay, sorry. So freelance is the actual commissions and stuff I have. So that's the stuff I do for the other months, but usually I focus on these ones. In February, I want to get the VTuber assets. I have done the tight sketches. Let's call them clean sketches. And then I'm going to do the flats as them in use. Then I'm going to render everything. Clean up lines, then I'm gonna render everything, and then I'm gonna put it in the PDF. I also, oh my god, okay, the animated waiting screen. I have a sketch for that, and I'm technically happy with the sketch. I'm not a big fan of the colors, so color studies. That's a little struggle I have with the illustration, is that I want the vibe to be like very soft and kind of lo-fi-esque, but my typical use of color is like not intense, but like I like to use darker colors, so I want to try something else. Like basically I'm gonna use dark blues and everything, but like a pastel version, if that makes sense. So that's something I want to do color studies for. Okay. I just checked these two things, and there's enough in there. So I can also put a bit more here. So wait, okay, so if I have the YouTuber assets and the animated waiting screen, I have the stream overlay in here in January. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish that. Wait, I know next week is gonna be pretty busy, so... Oh man. Also, I hope I get my iPad back soon. Help me. Because I can't do... I mean, I could do the assets with my Cintiq. I can get that out again, but I would prefer to do it on my iPad because that way I can do it on my way to work, at work, stuff like that. I think I'll be able to, for sure, do these things by the end of the month. I'm not entirely sure about the finishing up and, you know, basically creating the stream overlay. That really depends on the design I come up with. So I also put like the stream overlay finish up the January to-dos. Put in PDF. If I put it in the PDF, it's basically like trying that out in action, because I'm going to demonstrate that with putting the VTuber design over the corner and everything. So that counts, I guess. Do I have to do edits? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave it like this. I might edit this and also this stuff while especially doing these steps and the brainstorming. Like once I have a clear idea of what I want my stream overlay to look like, I'm gonna move ahead. Oh, I think I need to create callouts, basically, like little stars, symbols like that. Like bring some illustration into the graphic design, I guess. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, like creating the step-by-step thing is very helpful, and on the one hand, usually it like decreases my anxiety, but now that I start thinking about this project again, I'm kind of intimidated. But I think this is enough for this planning right now. So the stream overlay I should be able to get done in January, and then I put it in the PDF and test it and potentially edit it, but we're going to treat it like we're not going to edit it. Then I have the VTuber assets. I don't think that should take too long because that's part of my comfort zone. And I already created like basically the sketches I want to use, unless while testing them in use with like the colors and everything, then I'm gonna discover some problems. But I think I know enough about illustration and my ideas and how to use them and everything that like at least no big problems should come up that I have to like, oh, edit them again or something. It's more like, oh yeah, let me just, I don't know, tweak the colors or something. This might take longer. So for January, that might also, for February, this might actually be enough. It's also going to be my birthday in February, so but I'm going to celebrate that. So that's what I do in February. Let me just double check the portfolio stuff. Okay, I'm going to close this because website done. I don't have my website done, so I'm not going to look at this right now. This is also something that helps me keep my mind clear, I guess, because otherwise I'm like, oh, I can also do this and that, like what's in here, oh, like, yeah, apply or like reach out with my portfolio. It's like, oh, I still need to do that, but I physically can't do that until my portfolio website is done. So I'm going to close this, but as soon as these are gone, this is going to be the next thing there. I think in February, I'm going to focus more on my projects. Something I'm going to put here is finish up VTuber portfolio PDF, because the PDF I'm gonna export as PNGs and then upload those on the website. So that's why I'm gonna focus on the projects more. Apparently I don't have it in here, but in March I'm for sure gonna do some portfolio stuff as well. And once I'm done with the VTuber design, I think I'm going to move on. Oh god, I'm a bit scared. But I'm gonna do the Stonewall comic. The The Stonewall comic is a comic I did for class like, 2 or 3 years ago. So while I still really like the idea and the story and everything, I think art-wise, I'm gonna, like, I can just redo it. I'm going to look at everything I have, like check list of things to improve. And then, something I also have to do, PDF, create layout, which texts to include. Because that's a historical comic, basically. I need to include more actual text because that gives like historical context. So I need to choose which text to include in the PDF. I need to create a layout for that. Okay, so for the comic, I'll have to think about it. I think it has like 16 pages, so I could just create a slideshow, whatever. I don't know what it's called, so that people can flip through the entire comic. But then I would have to overhaul the entire comic, or I can just put in like 3 or 4 example pages. But I think the whole comic would for sure be smarter for the portfolio, but I'll have to see how much time I have. I don't know which videos I want to do for my YouTube account in February yet, so for now I'm just going to put in video 1 and 2. But for March, I think it might be a smart idea to create a video for the Stonewall comic, because I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And also, I just really like the idea. That's something we're gonna think about later. See, this is hard, because if I want to redo the whole comic, I can't start with another project. Unless I could. I mean, because I checked out the comic a few days ago, and like the layout and everything was fine. Like the anatomy and perspective and everything, that stuff I would like to improve on. I think I am going to create a new storyboard, because that way I can see how much I improved and if it's going to be worth it. Do I want to keep going or drop projects for now? Good. Because that depends on how I'm feeling with the project. So that's the Stonewall comic part. Project. I'm not gonna choose which project yet, because in March, that's still like a few weeks in the future, and I want to check in like what I'm in the mood for, which project. Because a lot of times, even especially if I work on longer projects, like I just start hitting walls, and if I hit a wall, it's nice for me to have a second project on the side where I can just like spend 1 or 2 days like, hey, I'm gonna do this, or maybe even an afternoon or something to get into this project and get ahead with that, and then have a break from, in this case, the Stonewall project, and then I return to the Stonewall project, and I'm still doing fine with my schedule on this one in this case. Also, like, for example, the list of things to improve. Once I have that list, I can put those points. Probably I'm gonna plan them for April, but maybe even April, May, or I put them up here in the portfolio section. Probably like this. Portfolio projects. I have Stonewall already down in my in March, so that's the stuff I would write up here if I wouldn't know I plan on doing that in March. Really, okay, that's a story of mine. I'm probably gonna do a VizDev project on that. VizDev. This one was originally like a picture book for another class, but I want to not reuse the story, basically like redo the project in a way that's valid for me. I got a 1.0, like best possible grade and everything, but I'm not really happy with the project because it was a whole lot of struggle. And by the end of the semester, I was like, okay, I'm gonna scrap everything I want to do and just focus on what my professor wants me to do, and I'm gonna do it. So I learned a lot, but also I'm totally not satisfied with the project. I'm 100% happy with the story and characters, but not with the project. So that's why I want to redo it, and I think it has a lot of potential. On the bookshelf. Oh, I'm not sure how I'm going to create this for my website, because it's a project I want to create an expose for that I bring to actual German publishers. So that's a question mark. Oh my god. The Fight or Flight. That's a very good one. That's a video game, like a 5 minutes video game app. Put app on website. I also have to create PDF. I don't like, because that's a finished project, and for that one it's kind of the opposite to royally gay. So instead of being like, I'm gonna scrap everything I like and focus on what my professors want, my group and I decided to scrap not everything, but like basically most of the stuff our professors expected of us, and created a game we would be happy with. So for that, I don't think I'll have to change anything or redo any sketches or stuff, because it's also like just an existing thing. So for that one, I think I'll mainly have to, quote unquote, have to create the PDF. Artwork made by me. I mean, I'm 100% sure I have enough artwork made by me, because like for this game, we were one programmer and 2 illustrators, and I was in charge of animation, like 2D frame by frame animation, and the creature designs and everything. My friend and co-creator illustrator was mainly in charge of like the UI and backgrounds and prop design and stuff like that, but also it was a group project. So I will for sure show their work as well, because for example, if I want to demonstrate how my animations work in the environment, I'll quote unquote have to show the environment. Oh my god, I'm so excited to put this. I think, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put that into March. April, I mean. April. Okay, and because for this I should have enough things, I can for sure put another project. And I think I know which one that's gonna be. It's gonna be the Sri Lanka jeans. That's another group project, unrelated, not exactly unrelated to my university, because that's how I got the job. Coincidentally, 2 friends of mine and I, who all got hired separately, like that's an animatic we created together, and I was in charge in a lot of the research part and like the pre-production, basically like the brainstorming phase, and a whole lot of pre-production we did together. But then the actual pre-production for the animation, like the research on like how the sewing machines and stuff, what they look like and how we want to portray them in the animation and everything, like that stuff I did. Then another friend of mine created the actual illustration, and then the third friend created the video. This is a gross simplification of everything, but like my focus was more like pre-production. So I think that's a good addition to my portfolio, because I can focus more on my pre-production skills than the actual quote unquote actual production skills, like in Fight or Flight, where I did a lot of, you know, the actual animations and everything. That's, I think, 2 projects for my portfolio a month is good. Right now, I think I should have enough time to do both of this and still have time in April to finish portfolio stuff of mine. But I also feel like things will happen and I'll not have as much time as I think I do. So for now, I'm just going to keep this. Like, I'm basically going by the minimum viable product approach, where it's like, okay, if I manage these 2 things, I'm totally happy with what I managed this month. Anything else I do is just like a plus, you know? What else? Oh my god, I should totally get going on my website, shouldn't I? But that's also something I think would be smarter for me to do after I finish at least some more of the projects. For my standalone illustrations, oops, that's not... I have to check which ones I have that I can use. Oh my god, I'm scared of that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm gonna do that and then also create new ones. If I, for example, have a lot that are backgrounds with foliage and stuff, maybe I'm gonna create one with a room or something. That kind of stuff. But I'm gonna put that in the back because I feel like I want to do other things first. So, as you can see, most of my planning, like art-wise, will be for my portfolio website and everything. Once I have the things I just mentioned done, I'll get more into the actual website, but I think for now it's smarter for me to focus on the projects first. So I'm gonna keep everything I have to do for the website itself up here. The freelance stuff, also post having the website done, or like at least not right now because there's too much to do with the website and that's a big priority. The general art skills are things, okay, this is gonna, when iPad back, that's something I have to do then. The jungle brush tutorial I'm gonna do later if I have if I'm working on an illustration where that's applicable, because that helps. Ooh, the visual diary, I could start that. Oh, I might. Okay, I'm gonna put that in February because like that's a nice start, and also let's face it, my January is so bloody full. I'm Tomorrow I have 2 different doctor's appointments, and it's like I'm feeling so overwhelmed. So if I would have to draw, I don't know how that would work. It would be cool if I could use my portfolio work to create shorts. So maybe I do want to do that in these 3 months. What does March look like? If I do a video that's not that heavy with editing and everything, I could do it in March. And I feel like having a few more weeks to think about it, like how I want to do it, what I want to do it, and everything feels nice. I know you should be like, oh yeah, just don't ruminate too long. But for me, ruminating on things like that does help, because then I have a clearer picture of what I want to do and everything. But yeah, I think that sounds nice for my artistic plans. Okay, so I think that's it for now. As you can see, I haven't put too much on here. Like, I try to have not too much on my plate and only have like 2 or 3 projects going on. Like here I'll have my travel plans and life. That's something that's always there, but like a lot of time there are just like 2 things in here, or maybe 3 or more, but like very quick stuff like make that and that appointment. Then online presence is always just 1 and 2 videos, and then I usually have 1 or 2 extra things. Like here it's portfolio and also travel. If I would have less to do in portfolio, maybe I would do another thing in there. I've gotten better in recognizing how much I can get done each month. Not that I'm being good, because I can already tell you January is going to be tight. But then I'll have 1 or 2 things that I will be moving. Like, for example, if I don't get the VTuber design done, the stream overlay, I continue that in February, everything like that. So that's how I'm working. Like, I set a fixed plan, but depending on life, I can move things around. And stuff like, hey, in March, I need to do 2 videos, but I'm gonna choose which videos those are later down the road, when I'm like, oh, either I have a nice idea, or I just choose what I'm in the mood for, or if I'm like, okay, I have more time than I thought I would have, I can choose like a bigger, more involved video. If I don't have as much time, I choose something that's easier to edit, stuff like that. And that's basically how I go through my life. Again, by the end of February, I'm gonna continue to go up to May. I'll always be like 3 months ahead, plus whatever is fixed stuff. This is a pretty flexible thing for me to work with, and it's been working very well so far. So yeah, I think that's where I'll be stopping my little video. I hope it was interesting and maybe helped you a little. Me personally, I think it's always like nice to see how other people plan and how much they plan and like what kind of stuff they plan. So please let me know if that helped you in any way. Least of all, I hope that you had a relaxing time, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But for now, bye bye.